So, I've probably been asked this question a million times. And as always, I'm fine with giving my honest answer. I've said it in posts, comments, but never really in a video because I felt, oh, you don't need to make a video about it. Who cares? It'd just be view fishing, or nobody gives a which is why I sort of went back and forth about making this video. But seeing as it's one of the things I'm still asked about, like, all the time, here it is. Why did I delete the Chains videos, and why do I no longer make videos on that game? Well, the simple answer is, Chains is a fetish game. Yeah, I know, big shocker. People told me this before, yada yada yada. But anyways, here's a short description of the game if you don't know what it is. Now, the game itself centers around a character named Colin, who wakes up in an old abandoned laboratory with goo monsters. And these goo monsters want to infect and assimilate the player. And if you know anything about certain topics on the internet, these assimilation stuff is kind of a sus topic. And a lot of the cutscenes in the game, especially in the new remastered version, well, they show blatant NSW. And while the main story of the game features the friendship between Colin and a nice goo creature named Puro, almost every transfer in itself is a fetish. So, not exactly the best thing to post on YouTube. But of course, with how YouTube works nowadays, NSFW gets views. The algorithm recommends it to people, and some of these people happen to be minors. And seeing as my audience is mixed, well, take a guess as to why I still don't feel exactly good, or downright awful about posting stuff like that. But the past is the past. I did some dumb stuff. I abused an NSFW game for views. Not to mention some meme videos, but that's for another time. But in the end, I decided to delete all those videos and start making changes, even if my channel died as a result. I mean, just look at the comparison. I hate to say it, but this channel's dead. By deleting all those videos, by changing the type of content I made, my channel died. The comparison shows it. You can literally just look this up. Well, at least I can. I'm not sure if you can. But look, do I have any regrets on this? And the answer is no. Because Changed is a fetish game. And personally, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say whether or not it belongs on YouTube, but personally, I don't feel it belongs on my channel anymore. And I think I took the high road with this, and if that makes me suffer from a lack of views, so be it. That's life. I don't want to continue profiting from the sus or inappropriate, or be known as a sus or inappropriate YouTuber. Starting back to the first mod showcase I featured in the channel, now this wasn't the actual game, this was modded Minecraft, and this would ultimately be the thing that I tried to profit off of the most. Well, and basically at this time, I was a dumb young adult fresh out of high school, and pretty much just starting college. I had no job, and my life was pretty, well, I had no life. And when I posted this video, I was like, damn, this game equals views. This mod equals views. So, I made more. I did an SMP and had the most active live stream I've ever had. I made a roleplay, ended up surpassing all my previous roleplays combined. I made more mod showcases, and I went a little overboard on some. But, yeah. I'd say the most accomplished thing I did, which personally I'm not exactly proud of, was the 100 player event, which was honestly a bit of a wake-up call. Now, for starters, the 100 player event was a disaster. My management skills were awful and downright irresponsible. From the beginning, I knew I should have halted it and redid some things. But, you know what, $10 off of ad revenue on YouTube to someone with no job, that was a lot of money. And 100k views, that was a lot of views. So I kind of ignored the problems and continued on. And let's just say there were a lot of problems. And on Discord especially, I had trouble controlling things, especially since some of my mods were 3 or 4 years younger than me, sometimes with the youngest being like 14. And yeah, that wasn't exactly the smartest move. I shouldn't have entrusted stuff like that with people that young, but if anything, yeah. At the time, I considered the mod in the game 13+, or at least I wanted to consider it that, but yeah, not my proudest achievement. But the event went off, and it got tons of views, and me and the people who set it up celebrated. I mean, while the event itself wasn't sus in the slightest, the concept was sus, and the fact that there was such a huge mix of age ranges in there created drama. In the end, I decided to get rid of the event server because of constant drama, and well, it not really being used after that. One example being a situation where someone was posting dumb stuff, and which I can't exactly prove was a joke or not, but the point is, I banned some people, they got mad, said they were joking, but realistically, I want to keep people safe, so I banned left and right. Skip a few months later, some videos calling me out popped up. At first I was mad, but realistically, they had some pretty good points. And I took them seriously. You see, it's one thing to call someone out on made up shit, which, yeah, that did happen, and it's another when you call someone out on actual stuff. And like 95% of the things mentioned were pretty true or pretty close to being true. I was an idiot and irresponsible. And I chose views and tiny amounts of profit over keeping people safe. My audience was mixed, and I chose not to care, even when I knew what I was doing was dumb and wrong. So I made the decision. I deleted the videos and stopped making any more. My point is that in life we do dumb shit and we make mistakes. But what only matters is if we learn and try to do better. While personally I don't fully believe the controversies around the game and its creator, mostly due to a lot of evidence backing both parties and it being non-stop. Look, point is, I'm kind of in the gray area on that, where I'd say, if it is true, then I'm not surprised, but I don't know. Point is, I just don't want to help contribute to anything like that anymore. And so, even with the stance, I will never use it for views again. If you do, then go ahead. I hold no ill will towards anyone, even the ones who made up lies, or continue to call me out on past mistakes and choices. Even the ones who called me out and are making the same active choices I did. And again, I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to call anyone out. That's life, and I just want to keep moving forward. So in conclusion, change is a fetish game. Nothing can change that fact. Just because you befriend a furry in the game doesn't make it solely about friendship. And the fact so many people use it for views with mixed audiences is a bit messed up. Again, I hold no ill will to anyone, and you're free to post what you want based on your audience. My only advice is to be careful. Not everything should be posted on YouTube, especially since YouTube doesn't care about policies anymore. Just look at the ads that play. YouTube doesn't care about moderation, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't care. So, be careful what you post. Try and think for a moment and ask yourself, am I proud of this video? Could it cause harm? And is this what I want on the internet? Because the internet is forever, and I have no doubt that in some archive, in some person's saved videos category, I don't know, that some of my old videos might be there. But they're no longer on my channel, so that's no longer me. And it never will be again, because I'm not gonna go back to posting things like that. Whether you choose to believe me or not, again, is your freedom of opinion. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll never stop apologizing or act like this isn't a part of my channel's history. Chains is a fetish game, and that's a fact. So be careful and be safe.